So Trump went to Davos and dropped a steaming hot pile of America First all over its face. Now, Davos is where rich dirtbags fly private jets to talk climate change as an excuse to bang beautiful hookers. It's absurd. Why not fly commercial and spend more money on hookers? But right out of the gate, Trump made it clear he didn't come to Davos to be part of Davos. He went so Davos could be part of him. He spanked him so hard, I thought the head of NATO was going to call Child Protective Services on him. Yeah. But what a difference. Most American presidents show up at that thing like exchange students desperate to fit in. And Trump blows in like an orange tornado at a trailer park.
To address so many respected business leaders, so many friends, few enemies, and all of the distinguished guests. It's a who's who, I will say that.
Yep, Trump looks at the room and everybody there instantly understands they're about to get something new, the simple, unvarnished truth. I wonder if under Biden, were we plucked like a chicken?
Our country is being plucked like you pluck a chicken. Our country was being plucked, and it wasn't good. And, you can only take so much of it. And we've changed it around very quickly.
Yeah, Trump was there as America personified. He skipped the small talk, went right to reality, pivoting to Greenland, the Arctic, Russia, China, shipping lane, security, because that's how adults talk. And while they were nervously laughing, he walked out with a swag bag that included a chunk of land bigger than California. So while everyone else was there to preserve the status quo, Trump was there to torch it. But then came this stellar moment. Trump insults their religion, windmills, making this moment the most delicious thing to come out of Europe since Sophia Loren.
Windmills all over Europe. There are windmills all over the place, and they are losers. One thing I've noticed is that the more windmills a country has, the more money that country loses and the worse that country is doing. China makes almost all of the windmills, and yet I haven't been able to find any wind farms in China. Did you ever think of that? It's a good way of looking at it. They're smart. China's very smart. They make them, they sell them for a fortune. They sell them to the stupid people that buy them, but they don't use them themselves.
Yep. Trump mocked the entire green energy priesthood by pointing out that China makes the windmills, sells them for a fortune, and somehow doesn't seem to clutter its own landscape with them. And the crowd laughs awkwardly because they know it's true and don't have the balls to say it. No wonder when Trump walks into a room, everybody's sphincters clench. Because this pit bull gives no. And those poodles in the room realize this guy isn't the idiot the American left says he is. Even more, he doesn't care if you don't like him. He only cares that you respect his one and only client, America. Trump doesn't charm you with consensus. He corners you with reality and then asks whether you'd like the pain now or later. Because he knows Europe is a continent that's been propped up by American generosity, and it's finally being asked to pitch in. Our military spending let them have a welfare state for 80 years, and all we got in return was soccer, Benny Hill, and chicks with armpit hair. That's the real reason Trump succeeds. He told them this is about America first and our ability to save their asses. As Trump said at Davos, you'd all be speaking German if it weren't for us, which really pissed off the French once they had it translated into Arabic. But this is why, perhaps, that Europe often badmouths us. Nothing bothers the Euro elite like the fact that they owe us. That stupid conference exists to make powerful people in parkas feel superior to the country that makes them look small. And Trump walked in and reminded them that they're not superior or not even our equal. He didn't go there to apologize or to blend in or to be lectured. He went there to say 2 words, "You're welcome," and then added 3 more, "Now pay up." Let's welcome tonight's guest. He only became a cop to perform the cavity searches. Fox News contributor Paul Morrow. Just like the Buffalo Bills, she'll be watching the Super Bowl from home. Republican strategist Aaron McGuire.
Go Bills. I love you, Buffalo.
Her cheerleading inspired the Raiders to leave Oakland. Co-host of Outnumbered, Emily Capano.
That's messed up.
And he's the reason for drawbridges. Former NWA World Champion, host of the Planet Tyra podcast, Tyrus. Paul, do you get the sense wherever Trump goes, the place is never the same?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Because it's like they think they're the thing, and then the thing comes, and they get really small.
You have to imagine today, all over European capitals, they're saying, what the hell was that?
Yeah.
What was that? They love windmills. The biggest windmill on earth just blew through, right?
Yes.
You could power all of Europe off of one of those speeches. Take a step back. What really happened here, looking at it from a macro level, is that diplomacy is always the art of farting around, right? You don't really say what you're going to say, what you're going to mean, and all of that. And he came in and didn't do any of that. And he essentially said to them, look, this is the equation. We have been propping you guys up security-wise since post-World War II. We created security junkies, an entire continent. So what did they do with the fact that they had all this flexibility in their budgets? Here's an idea. Why don't we create a welfare state, cradle to grave, throw open our borders, and let any migrant who wants to come in, come in. Sound familiar?
Yeah.
We're paying for migrants in Europe, not even just here, because it's the pass-through.
Right.
And then they tell us, hands off of Greenland. How dare you? Did anybody on that continent give a crap about Greenland a week ago?
No.
Was any of them complaining about the fact that it was Denmark? Is anybody marching against Denmark for having... I don't think people in Greenland even know Denmark claims that they own the place.
Yeah.
It's only because it was us that they just can't countenance that. And that's why, like I said, usually it's just a pantomime. He just goes in and says, look, cut through all of that crap.
Yeah.
We need it. You need us to have it. And in their heart of hearts, they know that, and so they're grateful. The only thing I'll say, just to close, you got to pare away Eastern Europe, because that's a tougher crew. Rumsfeld had that right.
Yeah.
We think of Europe, we think of Western Europe, and realistically, Epcot punches at a higher weight right now.
Yeah. That's a good point. It was like, Aaron, it was like, Trump is like the embodiment. It's like America walked into that room and slapped them across the face with Florida.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Sure, Florida was a choice, yeah. I mean, he did. He walked in and just owned the place.
Yeah.
And it was American dominance. It was Donald Trump walking in and saying, I'm not here about me, I'm here about my country, and I'm unapologetic that you guys have been freeloading, that you guys are making terrible decisions, that you're indoctrinating your own people, that we need to stop spending money on stupid things, and that, you know what? America's gonna lead the world again. And you know what? You all better get in line because we're not going to back down from this fight. I absolutely loved it. The guy's making jokes, having a great time. I love when he throws an enemies line out there. I remember his tweet from Thanksgiving a few years ago that was like, Happy Thanksgiving to everybody except my enemies. Like, he loves this kind of stuff. And he was absolutely great in Davos. I'm all for it. USA first.
There you go. Emily, what do you say? What's your thoughts on this, young lady?
That I love the obliteration and sort of the audacity that President Trump brings to every table, to every scenario, to every room. And I was trying to think about how, for a party, the Democrats and the libs, who call themselves progressives, why is it then, when someone has entered the scene and has challenged everything in the true name of progression, who refuses to simply swallow what they've inherited? Well, that's how it's always done. Well, we've always carried Europe's security since 1945. Well, we've always done it this way. Here is someone that is actually doing the thing that the libs have been talking about for so long, which is elevating the voices that were ignored, which is telling every single person you matter, which is saying to Greenland, hey guys, if you keep this up, you will be stomped over by China or Russia or both. It's now or never. I just hope we, again, return the meteorite and get rid of the black mold.
Stop with the meteorite! If you mention the meteorite one more time, Emily, no one cares about the meteorite. No one.
Meteorite.
Not even the meteorite cares.
Meteorite! I'll say it forever!
You're right, Tyrus. She's nuts. Isn't it nice to have a president who doesn't give a about...
No, it's just nice to see a man back in the fight. The boss is back.
Yeah.
That's what this was. They had 4 years where they could do whatever they want and run the little mealy-mouthed liberal programs in Europe. America sucked. America was the problem. White man was the problem. And then the biggest white man in the history of white man showed up to say, hey, the babysitter's gone. Daddy's back. First thing we're going to do is you guys. And here's the thing. He tells it like it is, not like they want it to be. So before, when they had the little things, everybody kissed everybody's ass and thanks for being here in this historic meeting and blah, 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 blah. He walked in like, we ain't friends. Okay? That you pulled the last 4 years, that's over. Okay? And here's the thing. There's nothing you can do about it. Because when they made the little threats, really, who in the hell is afraid of a threat from France? If you don't do what we wanted you to do, we're gonna tell them, England. You know?
Nice. All right.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.